Katy Perry went to space on a Blue Origin small people flight in April 2025, one of the most memorable moments was when she kissed the ground after landing. Many media outlets celebrated this as a touching gesture of gratitude, but others gave backlash. They criticized this trip was more of a publicity stunt rather than a scientific mission and questioned whether celebrities should risk contamination of their planets in the name of personal experience and entertainment. This directly connects to the debate: is it ethical to risk contamination of other planets in the pursuit of human exploration? Media backlash around Katy Perry's flight show how strongly people feel about this. On one side, the ground-kissing moment highlights how precious Earth is and reminds viewers why protecting our planet and others matter. On the other side, critics argue this kind of space tourism flight proved how easily exploration can shift from discovery to spectacle, making the risk of contamination seem even less justified. So the media response to Katy Perry's reflects the bigger ethical question. It's not only about one celebrity, it's about whether desire for adventure and publicity worth the permanent consequences that could cause on other worlds.
Hi, good morning. I'm Sofia Nusete.
I'm Dana Kaylees.
My name is Manuela Rubio.
I'm Julia Costa.
And this is Unethical Space Exploration.
Our research question for today is it ethical to risk contaminating other planets in pursuit of human space exploration?
Our argument is space exploration ethical and is not worth the risk of contaminating other planets.
Some critical factors that we came up with are medical considerations, economic impact, and environmental concerns. During space explorations, there are many health concerns that many individuals don't think about before going into space. One of the most important aspects of astronauts' health in space is how the body adjusts to microgravity, especially the cardiovascular system. Without gravity, blood and other fluids move towards the upper body, which can influence how the heart works and control base blood pressure. Over time, these changes can damage the cardiovascular system. According to a source written by Boma Wolf, it states that monitoring of the cardiovascular system during long-duration missions have required significant changes, such as altered heart rate variability and orthostatic intolerance, indicating the need for countermeasures to maintain cardiovascular health and microactivity.
Okay, moving on to asteroid mining. This is an emerging technology with the goal of extracting precious metals and raw materials from asteroids in space. And while it's relatively new, it has been proven to be possible by NASA's OSIRIS mission in 2023. And while this seems like the perfect solution to combat some of Earth's problems such as resource depletion and just the opportunity to create large amounts of wealth, as Harvard's Shreya Legat explains, these asteroid resources become flooding into markets, devaluing global raw materials, which would, as an effect, completely collapse commodities-based economies, which are especially present in developing countries. And as we can see on the graph on the left, but when talking about African exports, with the blue bar symbolizing the total value of exports per year in billions of dollars, and this red line symbolizing the share of these exports that are made up by raw materials and commodities, we can see that for at least for the past 22 years, Africa has depended on the exportation of global raw materials and commodities for over 70% of their foreign earnings. And when we talk about the possibility of asteroid resources flooding these markets at great values, this would mean that these industries would completely collapse. Because as we can see from this graph on the left, on the right, just one single asteroid, Site 16, is expected to be valued at over $700 quintillion. And here, this little piece would be $100 trillion, which makes up our global GDP, a minuscule number compared to just one asteroid. Now, this doesn't mean limitless wealth. By having this amount of access to resources, it would completely devalue gold, all the commodities like diamonds. And if we think about who's in control of space exploration, which would be very powerful and economically diverse countries, such as the United States, which SpaceX controls about 83% of all spacecraft launched in 2024, you can see that Africa and other developing nations are just not able to compete. They don't have the infrastructure to participate in space exploration, never mind be competitive in such a complex and new process such as asteroid mining. So Well, asteroid mining, again, is an amazing technology with a lot of benefits and could alleviate resource depletion. We have to think about the greater effects of the global economy and these ethical concerns.
For environmental standpoint, it's unethical to risk contaminating other planets in pursuit of human exploration. Although human exploration expanding human knowledge, it also brings the moral right of protecting every niche environment that we encounter. According to the research, $8 frequent space launches already has a measurable effect on global climate, human health, and ecosystems. If the level of harm continues to increase on Earth, it has the potential to create irreversible damage to extraterrestrial lives. When scientists use samples from other planets such as Mars, for example, they often overlook the consequence of removing or exposing another planet's material surface and what they might cause to the environment. The proceedings of the National Academy of Science emphasizing that returning national samples were necessary to study planetary evolution and the possibility of past lives. Yet this process risks introducing an Earth-based contamination or tearing Mars' natural environment. This possibility of harming unknown environments brings the question if human should have the right to interfere with other ecosystems, ultimately risking contaminating the pursuit of discoveries, prioritizing human ambition over environment preservation.
To conclude, space exploration is not worth the risk of contaminating extraterrestrial life as opposed to health risks, which destroy commodity-based economies and cause significant environmental damage. Thank you.
Thank you.